Okay, so here we're going to be talking about inverse trig functions, and we will be using the inverse functions to find angles. So I first want to step back and just remind you what we were doing when we were finding sine of theta. So when we were finding sine of theta, we were using a ratio, right, which was opposite over hypotenuse, to find what sine of that theta, which would be your angle, is going to be equal to some ratio. So in this case, we're going to be using the inverse, and that's going to be sine inverse now. It's going to be sine inverse of your ratio. That's going to be giving us an angle. So it's basically undoing the operation that we did over here. All right. So example number 1 says find the angle given tangent of theta equals to 2/3. Now there's two methods here that you could do. The first one is just using this step right here. So it'd just be tangent inverse of 2/3 is equal to theta. So you put a little tan inverse over the tangent, and then you do 2/3 and set it equal to theta. So you just kind of switch the theta and the 2/3 and then add the inverse. And then you're going to go ahead and plug that into your calculator. So I got theta equals 21.14 and degrees. And so I'll show you how to plug this into your calculator at the end of this video. But you want to make sure you're in degrees, and then you want to look for the tan inverse, and you're just going to do tan inverse on your calculator of 2/3. All right, so method 2, so that's method 1. Method 2 is we're going to go ahead and write tan theta is equal to 2/3, so that's our original problem. And then we're going to tan inverse both sides. So tan inverse, and then remember, tan inverse and tan are inverses of each other, so they cancel each other out. So your answer would be theta is equal to tan inverse of 2/3. And so therefore, again, you're going to plug this into your calculator, and I'll show you at the end of the video. So that's going to be 21.14 degrees. Personally, I like method 2 better. It just makes more sense to me. So example number 2, we're going to go ahead and plug that in. So I'm going to do method 2. So I'm just going to write this out again. And then I'm going to do sine inverse. So the sine inverse and sine cancel each other out, and we get theta is equal to sine inverse of 1/3. We're going to go ahead and plug that into our calculator. So sine inverse of 1/3. And again, make sure your calculator is in degrees. So that's going to be 19.47 degrees.
Alright, so I'm going to be showing you how to input this into your calculator, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this degree button here just to make sure it's in degrees. Okay, good. So I want it to be in degrees. And then you're going to go ahead and hit the second button, and where you see this sign on top, you should see a sine inverse. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that. And then the one we're trying to plug in is 1 divided by 3, so we're going to go ahead and plug that in. Close the parentheses and then hit enter. And so this is 19.47, which we're going to round to the nearest tenth, so that'd be 19.5 would be our degree.